You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Matt Migaki, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians. We talk all about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. If you've ever wanted to sneak backstage and share a beer with one of your favorite musicians, well, Vox and Hops is the podcast for you. This week on the podcast, I dropped a killer episode with Kelly Schaefer of Atheist. There is this episode and over 440 other ones to help you enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. So what are you waiting for? It's time to become a Vox and Hops head. Cheers!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad to have you here. This episode is a little bit different, so if this is your first episode that you've ever listened to of the show, just know that this is not normally how it goes, but it's still a really good time. Before I set the stage for you, I want to let you know about something that we are doing. If you go to pedalraffle.com, you will see that we currently have an entire guitar rig up for grabs. That's right. From guitar to amplifier, you could win an entire rig, and you could potentially help some people out who've been displaced by the recent fires in my area, and also help out the firefighters that risk everything to keep us safe. Like I said, all the details are available at pedalraffle.com. But let me just highlight the fact that this is a rig valued at over $4,600 that's all going to one person, and it is truly epic. And one little extra piece of information, this is currently the only way that you can get a new Benson amplifier. Yes, Chris Benson generously donated an amp to this cause, and I couldn't be more thankful. So, go check it out at pedalraffle.com. You will see the full rig, all the details, and you'll learn how to enter. Okay, now, let's set the stage for you for this podcast. About a month and a half ago, I was in Nashville, Tennessee, helping out my folks over at Stringjoy, doing some electrical work and some other things ahead of their big move. They just moved into a new, larger spot, and I was lending some expertise, quote-unquote. Very, very heavy on the quotes there. But anyway, I was in town helping out with that. Grant and Karen heard that I was in town and thought it would be a fun time to get everybody together for a Nashville Pedal People podcast. And it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. They had everything set up so we were nice and socially distant outdoors. We were all at least 10 feet apart with our own little mic stands and everything. And yeah, it was a really good time. So I'm talking to Jesse from Rude Tech, Awol from Awol Pedals, Grant and Karen from Big Ear, Matt Hoops from 1981 Inventions, and my boy Trey from Retroactive Pedals. Like I said, we are outdoors, hanging out on a nice Nashville summer night, so as you can imagine, the cicadas are popping off, so you can hear those guys, singing their tune in the background. I'm exhausted from working in a sweaty warehouse all day, and yeah, it's kind of a stream of consciousness episode, so there's a lot of cheese talk. There's a lot of talk about pants, but we do eventually get into different pedal stuff and different gear things, and yeah, it's a really just chill hang episode. So hopefully you all enjoy it. I'm going to cherish this one forever. It was a great time, and enjoy.
You guys are all recording?
I am.
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm recording now.
Same.
Recording.
That works.
That probably worked.
That hurt me.
All right, the cops are on the way.
I was like, what do I do? What do I say? I don't know.
That works.
No, I think it was the unexpected nature. That made it
I swear to you, my first thought was
more special.
to yell Hoobastank. I don't know.
I wish you would have. That would have been wonderful.
For some reason.
We got to leave all that in. That was great. That was phenomenal.
We still live here.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think we'll have it, yeah.
All right, I'll do the little intro thing, and we'll go in that circle, and we'll see where the journey takes us. So, here we go. So, yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast, the show about guitar tone and the people behind it. I'm your host, Blake Weiland, and today we are sitting outside the Big Ear Pedals HQ with a bunch of pedal people from Nashville doing a weirdly socially distant podcast hang. I would have hugged everyone already, but we're just staring awkwardly from a distance. So we'll go in a circle and we'll tell you who all's here. Let's go.
Hey, I'm Jesse from Rude Tech.
Hey, I'm Awol from Awol Pedals.
I'm Karen from Bigger Pedals.
And I'm Grant from Bigger Pedals.
I'm Matt from 1981 Inventions.
I am Trey from Retroactive Pedals.
I don't know what's going to happen right now. We're just going to roll into this and hope for the best and let the cicadas serenade us into the night. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but yeah. So I guess maybe a little backstory to what we're doing here, because why not? I'm here in Nashville helping Stringjoy prep to move to a new facility. I'm pretending to be an electrician. Don't listen to this, anybody who's an inspector in Nashville, but I'm doing my best. We're going to be moving over just a few doors down to a bigger spot, but we needed to run a bunch of electrical and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it was like that, or pay somebody thousands of dollars to do things I already knew how to do. So I decided to risk the vid and come down, which I was not stoked on, but here I am with a bunch of homies. So that's what I'm doing here. What did everybody else do today?
I ate 10 mozzarella sticks.
I went to the post office.
Oh.
And I didn't want to go to the post office, but I had to go to the post office. And I walked in and there was only one person in there, so it felt good. I was happy about that.
That makes it better.
Yeah.
It's kind of a monumentous day, though, for you.
Oh, it is. It was.
I don't know if monumentous is the word, but
I said that earlier, and I also questioned that after saying, is it
Monumental, maybe?
monumental.
Yeah, that sounds better. Because Grant's been holed up. Bigger team has been isolated in the best sense.
Oh, yeah, I don't go anywhere anymore. I never went anywhere.
You didn't go anywhere before.
But today I went to the post office, and I figure, can we make this come out after September 15th, I'm assuming?
Probably.
Cool. Well, then it'll be known by then.
Okay.
I dropped off the first batch of Albee demo pedals for the people that will be doing YouTube.
Golf clap.
YouTube videos. And so it's been 2 years in the making, and that was incredibly exciting for me. And I called Karen as soon as I was done, as soon as I mailed it, and she didn't answer. And I called her again, and she didn't answer. And I called her again, and I was so excited. And then for like an hour, I was trying her, and she had passed out because we've been working so hard and staying up till 4 a.m. every night.
I was literally sitting up on the couch with my phone in my lap, petting the cat. That was pretty.
Just out.
Just out.
That sounds great, but I want to hear more about the mozzarella sticks. So,
All right, so listen.
I
took a huge nap
varieties
afterwards.
or what's going on?
No variety at all. They're all the same mozzarella sticks.
Cheese heads or by Frigo?
Whatever Costco sells.
Okay,
In
cheese
bulk.
heads by Frigo. All right, good choice. I like that.
Mwah.
I like that.
That's
great.
actually what they are. You know the Costco.
Of course I do.
mozzarella
I have
sticks,
children, and they love mozzarella sticks.
Whereas I just
and
eat like
so
a child.
do I. But Oh wait, I just got mixed up. You said mozzarella sticks. I'm thinking string cheese. So forget everything I just said.
I mean,
and I
go
don't
to
know.
town on some string cheese too. Oh, can we swear? We shouldn't swear, right?
Try not to.
Okay.
Are
Good thing to know.
mozzarella sticks and string cheese not the same thing?
No, string cheese is the string cheese. Like you peel it, and mozzarella sticks are the fried ones, like at Fridays.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Right on.
Yeah.
I was thinking that you were, because you said that you were eating cold. Didn't you say you were eating cold cheese?
Listen,
said
I eat
warm,
a lot
I
of
think.
cheese. It's hard to keep straight at this point.
yeah, that would be somehow way bigger story to eat 10 string cheeses.
I mean, I've done
it's
it
a little more
before.
gnarly for sure.
I've definitely ate 10 string cheeses.
That'll lock you up.
Yeah, I kind of
that's no
figured
good.
you were hurting.
Yeah, my stomach hurt. I took a nap immediately afterwards. I was out for an hour. I got up and was like, oh man, wasn't there something I was supposed to do tonight? Where was I? I was supposed to go somewhere tonight. Oh, but I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. That's interesting.
So yeah, about the cheese or?
No, it's unrelated, but I might, change the whole conversation tomorrow morning to be about the cheese.
I just ask him
because,
how much cheese can I eat? And I don't care about the socially acceptable level. I'm just more worried about how much cheese can I eat.
Before I get cheese poisoning, how much can I eat? But yeah, I've got a doctor's appointment for the first time since college tomorrow.
Wow.
And I should not have eaten so much cheese today.
I hope you're okay, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, I was just kidding about really diving into the cheese thing.
Yeah,
here
we are.
I
We're
was just
here
being
now.
that guy.
You're along for the ride.
But I love it. I love it. I actually think that because, my listeners may not know about Albie because they didn't all attend Summer NAMM last year. What's Albie?
Oh, I guess I did a bad job there. Albie is our first new release in several years. I actually I looked back on Instagram to find out that it's been 5 years since we've put out a couple little like limited things, but first time like a full product release. So it is what I'm calling an ambient modulator.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really fun.
It's really fun. What's it doing?
It's okay. So it's basically is a series of stacks or chains of effects in one pedal that this is going to sound really silly, but you can't control it or do anything to the different parameters of the effects. You literally have 8 patches and you can blend them in. And that's the only control is you have a blend knob. It's kind of not entirely, but for people with option paralysis and people that just want to plug in and make a tone and start playing their instrument and writing music right away. So
I played it. I don't know if it's changed since I played it, but I really enjoyed whatever version it was when I played it. So I'm excited. Everything
you heard is the same. We've just added some kind of like hidden features.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that's exciting. Well, and I think, I guess it'll be out by the time people hear this, most likely. And so, wow, is the aliens coming to get us right now? What's going on right now?
It's end of days.
The government did say they had alien craft, so I'm starting to look up at the sky and wondering what's going on. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
real quick, I want to go back to cheese because
of course,
cheese sticks. I don't know if anyone has ever done this, but when I was a kid, I would take I would put like a cheese stick on a plate and melt it in the microwave for like 30, 45 seconds until you have this like gooey, like what resembles a cheese stick. And then I would just eat it, just peel it off and eat it like with my hands, like an animal. But I loved to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe 6 months ago, Karen got cheese sticks, and I thought I'm going to try this again. And turns out it's still awesome.
Oh, I was all right. I was wondering where you were going to go with that. It's like, this was a horrible idea.
Mozzarella. This is string cheese mozzarella, right?
Yeah, like string cheese. Like you melt it, and then it's even stringier.
How long do you got to put it in the microwave for to get it to the right consistency?
Like 34. It starts. That's the thing is, if you put it too long, it starts to bake a little bit, and then around the edges, and it gets crispy, and that's even good too.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It's a treat.
You ever tried throwing it in the fry pan?
You're talking my language.
I think you should do it. I think you should definitely try it. What's everybody's favorite kind of cheese? Since we're talking about cheese so much. Jesse.
I'm going to pass on the first one.
I don't even want to go last. Cheese anymore.
You want to go last?
Yeah.
All right, Trey.
I'll start. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Gouda cheese.
Gouda, yeah.
But honestly, lately I've just been going back to Colby Jack cheese.
There's nothing wrong with
Colby Jack cheese.
It's so good.
Yeah. And then honestly, I'm starting to get into blue cheese now.
All right, I like that.
So 3 cheeses.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know what farmer's cheese is, but it's really good.
I feel like that's just a made up. Like we got some milk and we don't know what to do with it. Yeah, what kind of milk is it? Goat? Was it cat? I don't know what it is. And they just make cheese.
Depends on what they got on the farm.
I changed my choice.
Oh,
Cotswold cheese is my number one.
Ooh,
it's kind of like oniony, cheddar-y kind of thing. I think there's even granules of some sort in it. It's try it if you've never tried it before.
All right,
Cotswold.
That sounds pretty good.
So what do you want to talk about, Matt?
Tell me about your cheese.
Putting you on the spot. No, he doesn't want to talk about cheese.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of like cheese overload right now. Yeah, I like a good pepper jack or a cheddar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
a brie. You like a brie?
Yeah, I can get down with brie.
All right, cool. But you want to talk about something other than cheese?
No, it's fine.
Okay, good. Because we're going to only talk about cheese for the rest of this entire podcast. I hope everyone's okay with that.
That's why we're here.
We're not really going to do that. But did you have something on your mind?
No.
No? You look very comfortable.
Just not
by the
cheese.
way.
Yeah.
Very, very comfortable.
He had mentioned earlier that maybe he shouldn't have worn shorts, and now I'm sitting here in pants, kind of thinking I should have worn shorts.
Oh, I'm loving the fact that I wore shorts. I am a shorts man. I love shorts with an undying passion.
Yeah.
I would wear them as often as possible and recommend it to anyone.
So, Blake, do you find yourself wearing shorts more in the pandemic or just a regular amount?
No, regular. I always wear shorts. Like, I love shorts. I do wear pants sometimes, but...
So I was constantly, I don't know if it's like being in a band, but I would just wear usually black jeans all the time, even in the summer, just sweating through them. Whatever, yeah.
Clearly.
That's the uniform.
Yeah, you just wear jeans or just probably black jeans. And I would try to get like really thin ones for the summer, and like sweat through them and whatnot.
Yeah.
But since the pandemic, I've been running a lot, and I basically will run, take a shower, put on more running clothes, and wait till I run the next day. And then I'll shower, put on more running, just
yeah, I feel that.
That's just where I've been. And I honestly love it. I'm like, why didn't I wear running shorts all the time before? Because it's so hot outside here in the summer.
So Matt, I don't know, for listeners, you were in a band?
Yes. I was
you were?
Yes.
What band were you in, Matt? I'm just curious.
Well, I technically am still in this band. It's called Reliant K.
Oh, yeah. I think
pop
a few of the
punk.
listeners
Never heard of them.
might have heard of that one before. Yeah.
So...
that band. Okay, yeah, I'm sure some people know that one.
Yeah.
But no, pants, I like pants. I couldn't find jeans for me until, I think it's probably been about 2 years. Levi's finally came out with a cut that worked for me. And so I will wear that when I got to wear pants. But up until then, it's been a struggle. It's been a real struggle.
You know what I wear now? I don't know if it's because I'm 39 and just am in this like Patagonia stage of life or whatever it is. I don't know, dad wear.
Right.
But the only pants I've worn in probably like the last 8 months, maybe a year, are those like stretchy Lululemon pants. I kid you not. It was like a joke. I got them kind of as a joke, but then I was like, no, wait, I think these actually are the best pants ever created. Because they're thin, they breathe, they stretch. They're just like black. You don't think anything about them.
I like the sound of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wear stretchy Levi's, so I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I got the 541s, which sound like they're like the big leg pants, but
I'm not familiar with all the Levi's number.
Yeah, so the
system.
541s are a new-ish thing. They're for those of us that would be thick with 2 C's.
Yes.
And you can have like a kind of a straight leg, so it doesn't look like huge wide legs, but it fits the upper part just so.
Nice.
And it's been a struggle of mine for a long time, which nobody knows because they can't see me, but it has been a struggle in the pants department, which is why I'm a shorts guy. I guess that explains a lot. Now that I really unpack this in depth, This feels like a weird thing to talk about, but I'm doing it anyway.
I've got some thick legs too, so I'm not,
Karen got me a pair of like athleisure whatever pants, similar to probably what you're talking about, bonobos, like kind of sweats that have a cuff, whatever. But I basically wear those or another pair of sweats that are like house sweats. They're supposed to look like real pants. But basically since March, I've worn, I think, jeans 3 times. I've worn sweatpants, and I'm originally from a small town in Pennsylvania, so I thought it was funny. I finally realized like my roots. I've worn
sweatpant wearing.
Yeah, I've worn sweatpants for 100+ days now.
Right, you've finally adopted the uniform of your people.
Yeah,
at long last. This is amazing.
The best part is when he will wear the pajama pants, which are plaid.
Yeah.
And sometimes occasionally he'll like walk out to get the mail or whatever, and then he like waves at people as they drive by. It's great.
Yeah. Definitely Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I like that.
I was about to say he's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I think my neighbors kind of just like turn their head. They look out the window and they're like, "Oh my God, this guy lives beside me."
I just realized I actually only own 1 pair of shorts, and it's a bathing suit.
Double duty.
Whenever I went to the lake with you, Jesse, I was like, I need a bathing suit.
Oh,
I didn't have shorts up until recently, which was like, we did that on 4th of July, basically. That was July 8th, to be exact.
Yeah, a week after.
I was like, man, I don't have any shorts.
Yeah,
And
you
so
got
I bought
that
a
New
bathing
York
suit.
thing going on.
It's
Yeah.
just hot though.
I just don't look good in shorts. That's just hands down the truth.
I don't either, but that's not stopping me. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm
I
about
think-
comfort at this point in my
I
life.
think
Me
feel
and
you.
Blake, you just kind of that give up point in life. Where
Yeah,
you're
it's
like,
like what difference does it make? You know, I'm a
Yeah.
podcaster.
It's a happy kind of give
It's
up.
fine.
yeah.
No one needs to know. It's all good. Sometimes style got to take a back seat, Trey.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm
By
not
the way,
saying I
you're
have
wearing
style,
a real
I'm
nice
just
hat.
saying.
I can't see what it says, but it
It
looks real
says San
good.
Francisco on it.
I like that.
Yeah, it's corduroy on the front.
What's that?
What's that?
What's San Francisco?
What is
Oh,
San
right.
Francisco?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
They don't wear pajamas there.
I'm not going.
Yeah, listeners can't see that they're basically wearing the exact same hat.
Are
it's
we?
like a captain's hat.
Oh, yeah. I have the.
Oh, I always forget what I'm wearing. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
I thought you did that intentionally. It's like, hey man, I really like your hat.
No, I mean I would have. Don't think that I'm trying to be better than that. I'm not above.
All right, we're gonna
that.
mark. We're gonna have to edit this part out. He's gonna claim he knew that.
That I would do that. I didn't do that. Not this time. But I will make sure to do it in the future.
It's called something specific, though. The little 2 gold wings on the bill. I
Yeah.
think there's like, it's called something. I don't know what it is.
The
but we both
Fender
have that on our
folks
hat.
call it their scrambled eggs hat. I don't know if that's the official term, but
No.
that's what it says on their website.
Wow.
So-
I've never heard that before.
I haven't either. I feel like they made it up because I can't even Google that. I Google scrambled eggs hat, and the only thing that comes up is their hat. So I feel like that's
I feel like that's a dark hole to like maybe see some other weird stuff too. Scrambled egg hat. You never know.
Yeah.
some dude is just cracking eggs on his head.
Last night we went down a YouTube rabbit hole. Karen knows one of her old classmates is in the band Head PE now.
Oh, what?
And they've been obviously a band for probably like 25 years.
Right.
And so this individual is just like a newer member, but she brought them up and it was like, hey, let's listen to them just for like, because
Well,
what do they sound like?
I
you know?
couldn't remember because I had remembered vaguely hearing Head PE in high school, which was like a longer time ago. And so I'm like, is this the same band? Did he just join into the band, or is it like a new band, or what do they sound like?
And well, the reason I brought this up is so then we like started listening to. She started asking like, well, is this metal? Like, is this death metal? I was like, I don't even know. Like, and then so I was like trying to explain what death metal is. So I looked up some death metal bands, and then I was like, this is going to screw up my YouTube algorithm. Like, I'm going to just start getting all types of random crap that I don't want to hear.
Well, because of his stomach thing, he's already getting everything for Crohn's disease and colitis, and
They know. They've been listening to me talk about.
Oh man.
and older people problems.
You're gonna get AARP mail pretty soon.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, they know I'm a younger guy with gut problems.
But now you'll get like scary slasher film music.
Yeah. Some
Kinda
of
cool, though.
the music we were listening to was just really scary. Like the kind of stuff that you would hear in like a house where people are like
Like
killing
a rape
people.
house.
Or
like-
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know why
in
we were
a
listening to it. I was like,
slasher
I gotta.
horror film or something.
I'm a big horror movie guy, and so I think I know what you're talking about, but I do get the same thing every time I'm like, oh, I heard this movie was good. I'm going to look up the trailer. And then I'm like, I don't know if I want this in my YouTube history because I don't know anything about this movie. I just heard it was creepy and good. And I feel like you're experiencing a similar thing that I've experienced in the past.
So you like scary movies? Do you like scary music?
Sometimes, yeah.
What is the genre?
Scary music?
The genre of the music that they play like in a horror slasher film that it would be something.
I mean, there's a lot of industrial in that. Like,
Yeah, that makes more sense.
there's a ton of industrial in horror movies. Sometimes it's just weird cicada sounds, you know? I mean, like they'll do anything. I actually made a couple tracks for a haunted house here. Was it last year or the year before? And that was a blast. Because I like got to get my son involved and have him like be like, no, stay away from me, and then like put a bunch of reverb on it and like did all this crazy stuff. And it was just like thundering, distorted bass with just like I was like, I'm gonna make the grossest sounding thing I can possibly make. And I brought it to the haunted house and they're like, what is this? This might be a little much for the children. And I'm like, well,
yes, that's how you know you did
that's
it.
how
right.
I do it. That's what I do. It's fine.
You think so? Haunted houses, that's coming up soon, but that won't happen.
That's not going to happen.
How could you even do that?
I mean, I guess you could do like a
If it was all-
one-person through thing, maybe.
If it was all robotic, like if you didn't have actual actors, if you just
maybe
had-
like a VR or something. Like a
Yeah, it could be. It could
just
be
record
done.
it once,
I'm sure
charge
somebody's
people
going to
for
get
it.
innovative and figure something out. That's what we do, right? Get a little weird, get a little crazy.
Did you hear that they released all the Halloween candy early because candy companies were worried that they weren't going to make enough money this year? So, like, if you go to a store, you're already seeing Halloween stuff.
I did see that
I did not know
at
that.
Walgreens.
I mean, what's today? It's the end of August right now.
Yeah. So it's
And
almost
I've been
2
seeing
months.
Halloween candy in the store pretty much all month.
Where's the Christmas stuff?
No,
We can get
unacceptable.
candy canes.
No.
I think the Christmas candy sales are going to be fine. I don't think
Yeah,
that's going to
Christmas
be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, what an interesting thing. I hadn't thought ahead to the pandemic Halloween.
Yeah, I
That's
love
super
Halloween,
weird.
so I've been thinking about it.
That's
Like,
really sad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody's coming to your house to knock on your door or
Exactly.
have you give them anything from you to the like.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe some people will, but you got to think that number's going to be way down. Yeah.
You don't want those people coming to your house.
Yeah, true.
I live in like a very residential neighborhood, which you would think would just have so many trick-or-treaters. And I've only been home for Halloween one time, not intentionally. I've always meant to be. It's just like something was going on or my kids had something, whatever. Finally, I was home for Halloween one time. We got 3 people that showed up. And so I guess I'm probably going to get 0 this year. So I'm not even worried about it.
Yeah, I live on a street that it's like an event. Like people drive from all around to go to this one street to trick or treat. And so I'm really interested to see what it's going to be like this year.
You're just going to leave like a socially distanced candy bars on the lawn?
Like a trail of.
You could just start throwing candy at people.
You get one candy bar and one wet wipe. That's all you get.
That's
Don't take
super
10.
weird.
Just
Yeah.
dip it in bleach and whip it out of them.
Just give them a drop of hand sanitizer.
Do people actually going back to Christmas? Do people decorate their houses here?
Oh yeah,
Like-
definitely.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
people
Really-
definitely.
Oh, because
Yeah.
like as a kid, I grew up. Everybody decorated their house with lights, and everybody walked around the neighborhood to check it out. And then as I get older, it seems like just people stopped doing it. I don't know if it was just geographically to me or if it's
I'll
like
say,
everywhere.
yeah, I grew up in Ohio, and I think it happens less down here than it does up there. But it still happens a decent amount, I think.
Because that was so fun as a kid, driving around, seeing who had the most like awesome decorations and lights and this and that.
Yeah, there are a decent amount of people up here that will do like the tune into this radio station and like the lights playing along with the music.
Oh,
you know,
that's
things
cool.
like that. Yeah.
Never
So
seen that
people
before.
seem to have fun with it.
There was in my hometown. There was an electrician that just had an insane house with the most Christmas lights and ornaments and characters and figurines and everything you ever saw. And apparently, I don't really know exactly what he was doing, but he stopped doing it eventually.
Mhm.
And the rumor was, and what I heard was that basically he had figured out a way to connect to like the like
The power pole or something?
he wasn't running
The
them off
power
it.
grid. Yes.
Ah.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
he was basically stealing the electric to like run all these like thousands and hundreds of thousands of lights in his yard,
Oh, yeah, you just got to go pre-meter on that thing. Oh, wait, should I not give this away?
So you know what I'm talking about. This
Yeah, I know. I don't have any idea what you're talking
Never
about.
heard of-
I've never
never heard
heard of anyone doing such a thing in my entire life. That's an atrocity. And I condemn it. Because this is public record.
I like the when the houses do or that one. Have you seen the video of the house with the Darth Vader and Star Wars theme song?
No.
They do the light show, and it's just wildly entertaining. You should watch it.
I'll have to be Googling that later.
I know nothing.
I think the guy does light shows, like as a profession.
Oh,
And
right.
So he just did it for his neighborhood. But I can imagine his neighbors were like, turn it off.
I also heard a story when I was a kid. I think it was my aunt that told me that their neighbor. She lived in I'm never gonna remember it. Something Hills in Michigan, outside of Detroit somewhere. Nicer area, but everybody in the neighborhood would decorate their houses. And so it was kind of a thing that everybody did it.
Mhm.
There was this one dude that would never do it. And as I remember, they kept pressuring this guy and pressuring this guy. You never put up lights. You never put up lights. So he went up on his roof and he just wrote in lights, "Bah humbug."
Yeah. He sounds like fun.
Yeah.
He sounds like a guy. I mean, that doesn't intuitively sound like fun, but I think I would like to talk to that guy, at least for a little bit. Maybe not for a long period of time.
Do you like to talk to people?
Me? Weird, right? I know. So strange. When I started the podcast, my family was like, "You're doing what?" And I was like, "Well, I talk to people who do guitar things." And they were like, what happens? I'm like, you put it out on the internet and people listen to it. And so you have a radio show where you talk to people about things you like. I'm like, yeah. You mean like your real life, but with like a microphone in front of it instead? Like, yeah, pretty much. That's just what it's become. So, but speaking of the pandemic and all the craziness, like, I know we've all had to adapt in weird ways. For me, it's not been all that much different except for extra sanitation and not seeing people. But what about the rest of you? Like, what have you had to do business wise or personal, or has anything like unique stood out outside of the norm?
All right, who wants to go?
Jess, are you going to start? You go ahead.
All right, so I had it was the second weekend in March when everything shut down, right?
Right.
And I my sales dried up for those next 2 weeks, and I was like, "Oh crap, I'm screwed. I don't know what's going to happen."
Mm-hmm.
Then April was actually my best month of sales since that previous Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, this is it. I made it. I am a millionaire now. This is
what I will do." Yeah.
And I was spending my yacht money in my head already. And things slowed down, got back to normal. But I feel like everybody was just at home. They got their $1,200 check in that April and was just like, okay, I'm going to spend it on something. And they realized this is going to last a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started getting a little weirder on Instagram, started getting a little weirder in my email list, and just telling people I was running experiments on them. And I released kits for sale because people seemed to be at home looking for quarantine hobbies. So
right,
I started doing a kit.
Awol?
Yeah, I think at first it definitely, I feel like I noticed a spike in sales, but yeah, I think everyone's attitudes when receiving their $1,200, I think, were very different, and our outlook of how long this would last was even different then, right? So it's just kind of interesting and weird to see where that will end up. But I think being in a boutique industry, making boutique pedals, I think by nature of that, people are going to spend money on it if they want to already. It's they're going to have the money to spend for it, or they're going to be financially irresponsible and buy stuff that they shouldn't be buying. And I feel like that's kind of the nature of being in a boutique marketplace, is it doesn't fluctuate as much as some of the other industries. But yeah, I guess my life has been more or less the same with it. It's just work from home for the most part. And yeah, I think it's just the general tone of everyone else is just kind of sadder, and you don't get to see your friends as much. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm fortunate to be able to work from home for the most part, and have a fairly easy transition into COVID lifestyle comparatively.
Yeah. About bigger crew.
In the beginning, it was our sales picked up, and then basically the last month they went back down again.
I think August has a big thing to do with it. August in general, I know for outerwear, August is the worst month. Tends to be
August is traditionally our worst month, I think, when you look at the record.
That's what I've seen too.
Most people have blown their money from the summer, and then they're starting to plan for back to school, and so they're being a little bit more conservative with their spending. I think that has a lot to do with it. But
yeah, in the beginning, people, I think they were, like you said, they got money and they're like, I don't even know.
Stimulus checks just were
I've wanted this fuzz pedal for a while. And
hot pockets.
A lot of musicians maybe have never had that much at one time. And they're
this is
can I buy 3 fuzz pedals right now? Yeah.
But I think like we usually stay here the majority of the time anyway, because we're usually just working. But I think like the biggest difference is that I've been painting pedals, right?
Yeah.
So I've been
that's cool.
hand painting just people's dogs, cats,
Pizza.
pizza,
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. You know I did.
all kinds of different things. Hawaiian
the
prints.
banana leaf one was my favorite.
Yeah,
That
I like
looks
the
so
banana
cool.
leaf.
That was cool.
She had wanted to paint pedals and had brought it up a long time ago, actually. And we had some pedals that Hannah that used to work for Zvex, Hannah May Hogberg. I don't know if I said her last name correctly, but she had painted our bunnies on pedals.
Okay.
And those were awesome. And I kind of thought, I was like, well, I don't know if I want to get into the hand painted thing. We did those because Hannah actually was the one that said, like, I'd love to paint your bunnies on pedals. You should do a line with your bunnies. And so that was like, okay, cool. I guess since she wants to do that, let's do that. But I never thought we would get into it. But like Karen said, because of just lockdown, we had a lot of extra time. And I said, like, why don't we just order you some paints and you see what you can do with them? So, because she's painted her whole life,
Yeah.
just not on pedals.
It's new medium.
Yeah.
Is it weird painting on pedals versus like canvas or whatever else you usually do, or is it basically the same?
No, it's like the paint consistency is a little different. I use enamel paints, which dry really fast, so you have to mix it with paint thinner to kind of give it the right consistency. So it's closer to, I want to say, maybe oils or acrylic, but
She used to do a lot of watercolor painting.
I used to do a lot of like watercolor and gouache, totally different than that. But yeah, I think that the painting on the pedal itself is like a canvas. It's just same sort of thing. It's just flat,
Cool. Matt, I know you've done a bunch of stuff. You moved, and then there was a pandemic, and like, what's been up with you through all this?
Yeah, I've kind of been all over the place, but not really. I'll also say I'm super stoked to get one of Karen's painted pedals. My wife actually saw one that she was doing, was like, "This one's amazing." I was like, "Yeah, it is. Let's get it." So my wife actually bought a pedal, and for some reason we don't have a big ear L reverb in our household. So I said, "Yeah, I've been meaning to get an L anyway, so yeah, buy that one. It looks awesome." So we are stoked to get it.
Nice.
But yeah, on a personal level, I just before the pandemic hit, we sold our house, which within was a perfect setup for me for making pedals. I had built out the garage, and it was like, I had everything I needed right there. Didn't have to go anywhere. Could just kind of do everything from our house. And we sold the house. The pandemic hit, and then I was like, I don't exactly know where to go right now, Right. So I finally found a new space, and it's working out really good. But yeah, for a while there, it was like, questioning whether I should. It really kind of limited my ability to work and plug into 1981 Inventions, which it was a trial to get through. But yeah, I feel like I'm at a good place now, and really am thankful for this space and thankful for the separation between home and work. So
Yeah, that's something I've wondered about for a while. I love working at home and have for a few years, which is a nice change from having a 3-hour round trip commute every day. I hated that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do struggle with the separation. And I've talked about it on the podcast a few times because it's like the shred shed is where I go for work, and it's also where I go for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it's hard to I'm like, oh, I got to go work. And then it's just a really strange, it's a good problem to have. I'm not going to lie about that, but it's a different mental state versus I'm driving to my work now, and I will be doing my work until I return.
Yes.
And then I can do kid stuff or whatever else, you need to do. But I think a lot of people are experiencing that right now. That's a new normal for a lot of people.
I feel like I kind of hit the opposite of that, where I was used to working at home, and now the pandemic has forced me outward.
Right.
It's like such a strange thing, but I can relate to it. And now, having been on both sides of the coin, I can say there's good and bad to each. You know, I think the biggest thing that I miss about working at home is being able to do 20 minutes here, 40 minutes here. It's so much easier to just like piece out your day a little bit whenever you have a free minute and you actually want to do that thing, whatever it is, you know, whether it's like on your computer or taking pictures or soldering stuff or, you know, like developing something. It's sometimes easy to do when you get this burst of energy and a free moment. That now I feel like, you know, when I go to my shop, it's more like, okay, I'm sitting down. Okay, I got to have a goal for today. I've got, you know, like, and I'm thankful for that separation because I can kind of get into a different kind of flow state. But honestly, I miss the productivity of being home, you know?
Yeah.
So, which was an odd thing because I felt like I was trying to create space so I'd have more productivity. And, you know, I think there are good and bad sides to both.
Yeah, I remember visiting before you actually moved out to the garage.
Yeah, you visited like when I was first kind of getting up and running, and I just was taking over our family's basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a sweet spot though.
Yeah, so
I still think about cranking up that Marshall.
Yeah.
With that deluxe telly and plugging in the DRV for the first time, and you like went upstairs to go deal with something, and I just kind of like got into this like semi-meditative like whoa, and I remember. It was weird, also weird in a good way, because you had already been on the show and you had talked about that specific guitar and how magical it was. And it was like, I get it. I understand this guitar and I want it to live with me, but it's Matt's and it must stay here.
No, that guitar is super special. Yeah, and I still, so I have that amp and that guitar and that big tall cabinet, and it's a piece of home, you know, at my new shop.
I can't remember what the specifics are in the Marshall, though. Can you refresh
on the cabinet?
Me? On the whole amp rig.
Oh, so the cabinet Grant actually found for me. I bought off some metal kid in Alabama off of Craigslist. And Grant had sent it to me multiple times, and then it was like not there, and then it was there, and I ended up, he would like list it and then pull the listing, and then, you know, there'd be no way to get a hold of him. And finally he did it, and I think Grant had sent it to me. I was like, yo, you should hit this kid up. And I was like,
I kept pestering him. Like, I kept being like, dude, please buy this cabinet. Go buy this thing. You need this.
Yeah, like multiple times.
The guy wouldn't hit him back.
Yeah, so this guy was like never responding to me, and then he pulled the listing and put it back up, and then eventually I drove 3 hours down to Alabama and threw it in the back of my car, and I'm just so happy that I did. It's an odd thing. It's like in the size of an 810 cab, but it's a 412. And when I got home and pulled the back off, it has the original two speakers in the bottom, the 75 watt, and then on the top there's a reissue vintage 30, and then a greenback from the 60s with like a 1967 date code or something. So it's this odd, you know, like they didn't made very many of these Marshall cabs with the 412. It was like a mid 70s thing. And it just fits that amp so well. I've used many different cabs, you know, with that one Marshall head that I bought in like 2001 or something. Mm-hmm. And this one is the most right with that head.
Yeah. There's something about certain cabs. My favorite cab also is a weird Marshall, which different scale. It's a 212, but it's diagonal 212, so it looks like in pictures people think it's a 412.
I've seen it in pictures, yeah.
Yeah, and that thing sounds good with everything. I don't know why.
That's
Some
awesome.
people, I remember like reading reviews on that particular cabinet when it first came out, and a lot of forum dudes were like, it's dumb, it can't do anything but metal. And I plugged a Fender 75 into it, and it was like, what are you guys talking about? It sounds fantastic. Like, with everything. I don't get it, but
that's awesome. Yeah. I love that.
But Trey, you're new. So you came on the podcast quite a while ago, and you were in Nolans.
Yep.
And now you're not.
I'm not.
So tell us about all that and what your new experience has been.
So my pandemic has been slightly chaotic in a lot of ways, personally. But I moved here at the end of May. Prior to that, I was supposed to go on a tour in March, basically March to July. And so I had moved all my stuff into storage. I was rehearsing a lot of drums because I was actually supposed to be playing some drums on this tour. and obviously that was all canceled. So instead of moving to Nashville after the tour, I decided to move during the pandemic because I had nothing else going on I didn't have any work. So I just decided to move in May. So I've been here for 3 months. And, you know, I have a couple friends here that I hang out with. I hang out with Grand Karen a lot. And I had a whole bunch of stuff that I built up. I basically got a whole bunch of new parts and enclosures before the move. So moving my quote-unquote shop here, I got here. I was able to build a lot of stuff. I sold a good bit of dot chasers when I first moved here, and I thought everything was like going well. And then I kind of hit a stalemate, and then so I'm sort of like in between designing some new face plates and stuff, and just going through some design stuff, tweaking it. But mostly, I've just been hanging out. My tour was canceled, and I'm just here hanging and building pedals
doing the
and
best you can.
Trying to sell and hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been weird for everybody. I remember to my Patreon subscribers, like when it first started hitting, I was just looking at everything and going like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to like go work at Amazon or whatever. Like I don't know, which is fine. Like I would still do that if I have to. But like I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep up the schedule with the podcasting, and because I was just kind of like envisioning, you know, Jeff Bezos taking over the world, and I'm gonna have to stop doing this. And it's been, so I just want to thank everybody that's tuned in and kept supporting the show and doing everything, because it's like I've gotten busier than ever, which I did not expect. I was actually doomsday prepping in my brain. So so yeah, I just want to, that's been my normal, is just like the same thing, but way, way, way busier. And so thanks to everybody that's listening and who's supported it anyway to make that happen. So, which includes buying stuff from the people I work with. So
What all does the this sounds so much better, by the way. I just swapped mics.
okay.
I don't know, there was something going on with the other 57, but this one sounds great. What all do you like? What are the Patreon patrons or whatever? Like, what extra things do they get that other people don't get?
Oh, so I mean, the main thing is like for people who just want more of this. They just want more podcasting, which is most people. They get an extra episode every week. So it's usually an extended interview with whoever that week's guest was. Sometimes it's been, you know, just random chats with my friend Jess, and it's been a few different things. I've done little demos here and there and like showed some like different comparisons of like strings and gear, and showed off some weird gear. And the audio only demo is not as appealing on the wide scale of things for people, but I think it gives people a chance to actually critically listen.
Yeah.
Instead of just focusing on the production of the video or whatever. So I've done a handful of those and tried to do them to the best of my abilities. And I don't know, I thought they were kind of cool. People seem to like them. But generally, it's just more podcast. You get more podcast.
Yeah,
and
then there's the Ian Fowles one, which is all about aliens and stuff.
Oh, you talked to him about conspiracy theories?
Oh, yeah, we talked about aliens.
All right.
It was wonderful.
No, they're not conspiracies.
Well,
Well, no, but his whole thing
aliens.
is, I understand, but his whole thing is like all.
No, do you understand?
I know a lot about aliens, Jesse.
Oh, don't tell anybody.
You don't know where I'm from.
Right.
He's from Pennsylvania.
Well, I mean,
Well, other than
Pajamas.
that's what I tell people. But yeah, his thing is conspiracy theories. I know.
But yeah, that was fun. I that's not the first time I've talked about aliens on the Patreon episodes of the podcast.
What was the other one?
So the Electro Foods guys, that was one of the earlier ones. It might have been Patreon episode 30 or something. We went off into the weeds, deep
Cool.
into the weeds. That was a lot of fun. There's been some pretty wacky ones. The one I just released with Mark Johnston was not about aliens, but it was like us just revisiting the early 2000s and what we were listening to and doing at the time, which had a lot of crossover. And it was a wild time. So we have a lot of fun over there. I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's a weird time.
Did you ever own a white belt?
Did I ever own a white belt?
Speaking of the early 2000s.
I didn't ever own a white belt, not because I didn't think I should, but because I was told I shouldn't.
Okay.
So
Did
I
you?
was like,
Anyone?
I think I did, actually, now that you
Yeah.
bring it up. Yeah.
So I worked at Journeys, and we sold white belts on sale. Very proud to say I never bought a white belt.
I definitely rocked the studded belt for a long time.
Oh yeah, me
Oh,
too. That's
no.
not fair. That's not fair.
A long
That's
time, though.
your free space on your early 2000s bingo card.
Did any of you guys?
I did it till like the mid 2000s, like way too long.
Did
way-
any of
way
you
too
ever
long.
do the belt buckle on your hip?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I never did that.
Did you?
I don't remember that at all.
Like maybe when I was very young, but yeah.
Well, if you're playing guitar,
Exactly.
it scratches the body. So
it
you
won't mess
put-
up your guitar.
But then I saw other people doing it to the other side, and then they would play. I was like, oh, he's a left-handed guitar player. That's interesting. I didn't know that about him. And then you see him play guitar, and his belt buckle's right up on the body of the guitar now, and you're like, what? Wait a minute. He was just wearing it sideways because it looks cool.
I
to
heard
him.
some people say they would do it to get extra scratches on it.
You got a relic it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Did you ever see
Respect.
the double belt? There was a lot of double belters in
Oh,
my neck of the
no.
woods. So
Yeah.
you run the
Awesome
regular
double
belt
belt.
to actually keep your pants up,
and then the
and
big
then they'll
loose
do
one.
the sideways belt. Sometimes 3 belts. I've seen up to 3 belts employed in this exercise
I'm belt man.
of different. Yeah, I'm belt man. Hear me roar.
It was another time for belts. Yeah,
It was an odd thing, but I really like belt buckles. I'm a big fan. I got Ninja Turtle ones. I got
Belt buckles?
yeah. I like a
Dude,
good.
I just got
buckle.
my first one from
that?
here.
You did what?
I got my first belt buckle from here.
Really?
I'm wearing it right now.
What is
you
it?
have to check it out.
Let me see that. This is great for.
I'm
everybody.
nervous
Oh, that's
now.
a wonderful belt buckle. Oh yeah.
You guys are so
Can
close
we
right
get
now. I'm
this,
really
like,
afraid.
on, we need to document this.
I love that. A hunter shooting deer. That's fantastic. That's wonderful.
Oh, I just missed it. Shame.
I have a lot of buckles like that.
No.
Hey, go show him your crotch one more time.
I got one when I was on a trip to some random beach town a few years ago, and it's way too big. Like it's really big and really uncomfortable, and it's just a bunch of cowboys like playing, and it just says country and western on it. And I was like, I have to buy this. I don't have a choice. I need this belt buckle in my life. It was too amazing to not have. But yeah, I don't know where we're going with any of this. Why are we talking about belts?
Because you started
Just
about
early
white
2000s.
belts.
Oh,
Early
okay.
2000s.
Mark Johnston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid episode. Solid
Another
Patreon
time.
episode. But yeah. You guys have any other cringe moments from those days? We're all relatively in the same
This podcast would
ballpark
be like
age-wise.
3 hours long.
I
I mean,
mean-
be just for me.
I feel like the skate shoes were all like giant.
Oh
Like
yeah.
shoes were just massive then. I feel like.
Soap shoes. Did you guys ever do soap shoes?
I did knockoff versions, but I was very good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very good at it.
Respect.
Little known fact, Leon from Pelican Noiseworks had soap shoes, and he's a little bit older than me, but we were in the same town and everything, and when he broke his arm from soaping, all the other mothers in town freaked out and they revoked their kids' soap shoes. So except for me, my mom was like, he's fine, he'll be all right.
My stepbrother and I, it happened at the hospital. There was this set of stairs with these like flat railings, and for people that don't know what soap shoes are, they were sneakers with grind plates in them, like on a rollerblade, so you could run and jump and do freestyle walking, which I guess is like the predecessor to like parkour or something, but much less badass.
Would you like grease them down or something?
No,
Was there a
they were like
process?
plastic, and they were perfect. You could replace the plates when they got all ground down.
Mine had rollers in them.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that sounds even scarier.
It was intense.
But my stepbrother fell off this rail and broke his arm also. And he just looked at me, and his arm is just dangling there. And he just looked at me. He goes, I think I broke my arm. And I look at him like, well, I guess we're at the right place. Like, he just like walked down the hill and walked in, and
It's like, well, here I am. What were you doing? No, walking?
Let's not get into it.
yeah, I definitely was not grinding on your rails.
No, I would never do such a thing. It's an atrocity. Yeah, soap shoes were a thing. Lots of people had them. They were really cool for like 5 years.
There's a documentary on YouTube I definitely recommend you watch.
Is this the last soaper?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Oh my god, that dude's life is he's like a washed up surfer, but for middle America. It's amazing. Instead of the breaks, he's surfing like strip malls and stuff. And he still does it.
He still does.
And he has to track down soap shoes to this day that are his size. He's like, man, I gotta go do it. And he's like searching on weird eBay stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried to find a pair in 13s, And
Yeah.
I found a pair that sold on eBay for like $270. Like, what
Whoa.
the hell?
Oh man.
I mean, new old stock, size 13 soap shoes, but you're going to pay for that.
Whoa.
I don't remember who I was talking to about this, but this fits in this conversation that I remember. So going back to Leon. So this is a blast from the past. Leon won I think 7-string or 6-string bass that was signed by Limp Bizkit from a Guitar Center. My wife was also at this event where Limp Bizkit was, where Fred Durst got pied in the face. And so I was thinking about this. He sold this a long time ago, but I think Limp Bizkit at its peak is long enough ago that he would probably have gotten more money if he had held on to it and sold it now, because they're almost kind of nostalgic in a weird way.
We were listening to them last night as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. See, I was listening to him a couple weeks ago. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Give me something to break. You know what I'm saying?
We hit Limp Bizkit and Slipknot.
We listened to all kinds of music last night. If you can get past the lyrics, the music, they were good at being a band.
They were great musicians.
And Wes Borland's awesome.
He is.
And
there's no arguing with that.
I like him. So
if you were going to design a pedal for Wes Borland, what would it be?
Oh man,
A distortion.
All of you. I pose that to everyone because I don't do pedals. But
it would be some thing that was distorted and modulating at the same time.
an Albie and a woodcutter in the same box.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would love to make a pedal for Wes Borland.
Just put that out into the universe.
Yeah.
We're doing it right now.
Everybody's judging me right now. I know it.
No, we're not. No.
I know you like Wes Borland.
Yeah, we hung out with Wes Borland. We were playing a festival in Australia one time, and they were on like the next, not even on the same night, but he was hanging out, and we just like ran into him. I wouldn't have recognized him because he's wearing like
Regular
jeans
clothes?
and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But our other guitar player, John, recognized him. He's like, "Wes, what's up?" And he just like started talking to us, and he hung out with us all night, and he was just like super chill, normal, like. Like, he was just like a good dude. I was like, yeah, I like this guy. He was great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he techs. He's usually his own tech, and he does all his own costumes, and travels with a wardrobe, and he does it all himself.
Oh, really?
Nobody does his makeup. Nobody does his outfits. He does all of it.
I had no idea.
He's
I
just
did not
really
know
connected to all that stuff. Yeah, he seems like super down to earth. So,
man, I'm gonna put it out there. Wes Borland, come on the show.
Yeah.
Let's go, Wes Borland.
Cool.
I would love to talk to Wes Borland. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. What are we at? Where are we at now? 53 minutes. All right. This might be a good time to roundtable this question, because some of you have been on the show. A couple of you need to be. Oddly, they're split like down the middle, the way I see it right now from my vantage point. But some of you I have asked this question before, and some of you I haven't. So let's start with Jesse again.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And this will be a fun one. What is your favorite Boss pedal?
Oh, PH3.
PH3.
Just like my just like my Taco Bell order. I like PH3.
What's a Taco Bell PH3?
Oh wait, I mean, you know when they mixed Taco Bell and Pizza Hut together?
Oh yeah?
Yeah. On the value deal, you get a PH3. It's a personal pan, cheese pizza, some breadsticks, and a giant Baja Blast. Because why are you going to order any? But I like the. It's not the PH3. I think it's the PH2. It's the phaser. It's the green Boss phaser that is not the digital one. I think the 3 is the digital one.
Yeah.
with the step mode.
So yeah.
I think
That's
the
right.
3 is when they also added the resonance control. I think 1 and 2 might have only had the speed and depth.
Yeah.
Does yours have the resonance knob on it?
Man, I don't know. Well, the reason I like this one so much is because in high school, this is like the first modulation effect that I saw. And this dude, Matt, he was a senior in high school. I was a freshman. So, of course, I thought everything he did was the coolest thing ever. And we were in this band, and he went making some really great radio for the people. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And it was this PH2 or 3. I'm not sure. But yeah, Green Boss phaser.
Nice. Hey, Wall, what about you?
Oh man, there's a lot. For me, it's probably got to be the RV5, the reverb,
Mhm.
and like the older version, right? Not the one without the shimmer. But yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoy the modulate on it. I think that's like a fan favorite setting for most people with that pedal. And then the spring is a little whack sounding on it, but I don't really use spring reverb. I like room and hall just for like a basic reverb, and I think those modes sound really good on it.
Cool. I don't remember what yours was when you came on last time, or if I even asked that question. Maybe I didn't.
I'm gonna probably get this wrong. Is it the PS3 or the PS5? The
I think it was PS5.
Super Shifter.
Yeah, I think the 5 is the one.
Is the one you
that
were
like,
talking.
yeah.
That sounds
PS5.
familiar.
I love that pedal.
Yeah.
I love it. I need to buy a new one because mine started acting funny.
I need a PS5
I use it too
and
much.
a PS3. Really, I need both of them. Well, I need
PS3 is
all the
the
pedals.
pitch shifter delay. Is that what the PS3 is?
PS3. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's the PS5.
A lot of people, I kind of forgot about it. I've asked that question so many times, and a lot of people have brought it up. And every time I'm like, "Ooh, that sounds really good." And I think that's the one that the guys from Thrice said was the cave-in pedal, which I love cave-in. I didn't really realize that, and now I've heard it a few times. Like, oh yeah, I got to get one of those. So
Is this the 3 or the 5?
the 3,
Okay.
if I'm remembering correctly. I'm very tired, so I may have said some really dumb things.
A lot
in
of
this
people
whole thing.
when you see the 5, when you see a PS5, people tend to have 2 of them, and I want to get a second one. I now need to get a third one because my first one's broken. But people will use them because you can have it in momentary. So most people that I see that have 2 have it like one for an octave up and one for an octave down.
Mhm.
So you literally just tap the pedal and you can change the speed of how it ramps to the pitch. But usually I have it just immediately just
Right.
And I love that pedal so much. So I need a second one.
That sounds like a good time.
Grant, I was surprised you didn't say that one that you're borrowing from me.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. No, that's my new favorite pedal. The vocoder, the Boss vocoder
Okay.
is amazing. If
Oh
you haven't
my
used
God.
one.
I've seen it, but I don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay. You say, well, I've been teaching Karen how to play drums.
Oh, sweet.
And so we have we haven't unofficially started a band because accidentally we became a 2-piece band. We did not intend this, but we live together and we are now making music together. And so people are going to be like, "Oh, look, another 2-piece band." And we're like, "Dude, we got locked in our house. What are we supposed to do?" But so we are calling ourselves Band of Pandas,
Yes.
and we've been just jamming and making music. And I thought this would be really fun to try to use a vocoder with the bass. I'm just playing bass with a lot of pedals, and I borrowed Matt's vocoder, and I realized you can blend it so that you hear like half and half, like bass and vocal sound. So I've just been having so much fun playing with that because if you're just using at 100%, you're just doing the vocoder, you obviously don't hear any bass. The bass is giving the pitch signal, and then the microphone is giving like the vocal sounds or whatever, the vowel shapes or whatever. But if you set the blend right in the middle, you don't lose any bass when you turn it on. You just gain another level or another layer of
That's
this
awesome.
kind of vocal thing. And I actually will play you something when we're done with this.
Oh, I can't
because-
wait. I've been waiting. Grant's been describing to me what he's been doing with it, and I'm like, man, that sounds awesome. Like
Yeah.
I kind of just want to like experience how he's using it because it
Yeah,
sounds
for
super
sure.
interesting to me.
That sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and it's like life changing. I think because I'm not confident singing. I'm not a confident vocalist, and so this gives me the opportunity to add some sort of vocal element where I don't have to worry about the sound of my voice because I'm great. My pitch is fine. I have no problem there. It's that I don't sound cool. I don't have like that lead singer voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, story of my life. I get it. I understand.
So this
Except I
thing-
don't even have the good pitch, so
This thing just makes
already
you-
a leg up.
This thing just makes you sound cool. You just sound like a really cool robot.
Yeah, so you're like a Post Malone.
Yeah,
Like going for it.
I guess so.
I like that.
All right, Matt. How about you?
Okay, yeah, I am number one Boss fanboy of all time. My current favorite Boss pedal is the digital Dimension, the DC3.
Mm-hmm.
So it was right after the Dimension C, which is also top 3 all-time Boss pedals. What I love about the DC3 is its subtlety. I love the blend knob on it. I love the way you can kind of make a clean guitar just kind of sparkle, and it almost doesn't sound like chorus, which I'm not typically the biggest chorus fan as a whole. But there's something about the DC3 that is like super inspiring to me. I just want to turn it on all the time, and it makes me want to play guitar, which is, I think, the goal of Guitar Pedals.
Yeah, that's the entire point. I think, entirely. All right, Trey, how about you?
I think I might have said this one on your podcast last time, and I haven't even owned that many Boss pedals, but I have owned a Terra Echo before.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a really cool feature on that one that's sort of like the EHX freeze, where you can sort of just like hit a note, hold the foot switch down, and it sort of sustains.
Yeah.
I use that feature a lot on keyboards and other things. And it's also stereo ins and outs. So I used to try to route it to 2 different amps and stuff. So that one was cool. And then another underrated one that a lot of people might disagree on, but I've, the ones that emulate the like Princeton reverbs or whatever, I think they call it a 65 something or another.
Yeah.
There's
look
vibrato.
Like the amp, kind of.
Yeah, they're brown. There's a vibrato control on it, if I'm not mistaken. But there's also gain and boost and stuff, so you can actually turn it down and use it as just a rad boost pedal or even overdrive. And if you want the vibrato, it's there or not. I don't have that pedal anymore, but I remember for a long time I had it in the front of my chain, using it as like really cool tone shaping sort of boost gain thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't know that about that pedal. I just assumed it was the reverb and
yeah, they have reverb, vibrato, but I barely used any of those settings. I use it almost as like I said, overdrive or whatever.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to take another
try
look
it
at
out.
that.
It's underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like that whole series just got.
I don't even see them anymore. Really, like they're on nobody's board. I don't.
Yeah, it just.
I think they came out with maybe 1 or 2. Like one of them emulates like at least a color, like the brown one that I think we're talking about with the reverb and the vibrato. And I think there's another one that has like tweed colors. It's a little more caramel, and I forgot what it does.
One too. I can't remember.
Probably, but
I'm not sure which one, but one of those, at least maybe for a while, was like going for hundreds of dollars. I don't like $400. I think it was the reverb. That's like what, 59 reverb or something like that.
Yeah, that one has kind of got a cult following now. Oddly, but yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have sold mine. I actually gave it to my friend. I gave it to someone.
Funny, yeah.
Actually, looking on Reverb last night, because I like to get on and just like look at what's newly added. Because I mean, you find deals. Sometimes people just like need to pay their rent real quick. It's the end of the month, and they're just like throwing up their pedals super cheap.
Right.
So I like to just like peruse what's newly listed.
Yeah.
And
tonemob.com/reverb.
Yeah. And I was looking in all these, like the Hardwire RV7 is one of my favorite reverb pedals.
Yes, that thing's awesome.
And they're like selling for $270 plus. I'm like, what is going on? And and all these pedals, all these used pedals, and the prices of non-boutique pedals are seeming to like go through the roof. Whereas then like you could find like there was like a Bit Commander for like $130, $140, or like some JHS pedal for like $100. But then the Hardwire is $270. And I think in a way, maybe JHS is to blame for some of that, because he's making so many people aware of all these pedals that they now didn't know they wanted.
Yeah.
But it's weird that the boutique pedals, whatever, are seeming to stay lower in price. And all these old pedals that you would have never looked at 10 years ago are now getting, some recognition or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the DE7 all the time, and I realize that maybe I finally have hit the point where I need to stop, because they're going for like 120 to 150, and I was like, wait a minute, I love this thing, and I would definitely pay that for it, but I liked it also extra because it was like $60 or $70 and sounded amazing. But yeah, the DE7, someone pointed out to me the other day, they're like 120 to 150 now, and I was like, what? When did that happen?
Crazy.
I know Josh Scott did a video on it, so I'm going to blame him and not me, because I don't want to take any blame for anything.
It's not your fault.
Another pedal that's seemingly getting more popular is the Line 6, the Echo one? The big brown, bulky one that weighs 5 pounds?
The Echo Park or
it's
something
the Echo
else?
Park, yeah. I thought I was about to call it that, but
Those were, I saw an Echo Park and it was like $160.
Yeah, there's a bunch of settings, and there's that really cool reverse setting I think people are using now.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the guys from Maris designed the Echo Park. And,
oh, really?
And if I recall correctly, that was kind of, it's kind of like one of their, whatever, I forget which, is it the Polymoon? I don't know which.
Probably the Polymoon.
It's like kind of like the, what's the word I'm looking for? The continuation of that, like kind of like.
Yeah, it's like the next thought. In that,
The Polymoon's insane. So I wouldn't be surprised if that. I can't remember what all is going on in the Echo Park, but I know there's the reverse, and there's another setting that people go bananas for too. I don't remember which one it is off the top of my head.
I almost bought one at Eastside Music Supply because they had like 17 of them, and they were all like $50 to $70 because Kings of Leon just brings piles of pedals into Eastside Music Supply and just drops them off like, here, we don't even care, just sell these.
Right.
And they had there's like 20 Digitech whammies and all these Echo Parks and all these whatever, because they use just random pedals, but they just have stacks of them. And I totally should have, not even because it was Kings of Leon, I don't care about that, but I did care that it was a $50 Echo Park, and then I was kicking myself for not having purchased that.
That series though, I had 2 Echo Parks, and I also had the Verbzilla, and I had
Mm-hmm.
They made a tremolo too in that series.
yeah, they're all. I had the tremolo too, yeah, and it tapped, which was really cool at the time. Sound great when they came out. It was pretty revolutionary. Those are the ugliest pedals I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's just so unattractive to me.
That seems to be Line 6's MO up until what? Up until maybe they made their latest stuff?
Yeah, but like the big green DL4 is like kind of adorable, and like
it's ugly though. It's just become attractive because so many cool people have made it.
Yeah,
cool.
but like it's not ugly in the same way that the Verbzilla is.
But look at the
you
gold
know.
version. It's the same case and it looks like barf. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Did you ever see the Red Panda module that they made for those pedals?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
There's a like you can buy an Echo Park and you can take out like the top, like the faceplate where all the knobs are.
Yeah.
It just like 4 screws, I guess, and it just pops out.
Yeah, because you can put any effect. You could switch it
You
out.
can swap them out. Yeah, so people will literally have just one enclosure and then like 4, circuits or whatever that they just pop in.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Panda made a bit crusher, I believe, that you can still find these things, and it's not in a pedal. Like it's just the cartridge or whatever. And
that's so cool.
They made it like a bit crusher to retrofit in the Line 6 pedals.
That's
and I
amazing.
also I passed on buying one of those several years ago, and that was stupid.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we are currently over the hour mark, which is what we're always shooting for. So this has been a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Grand Karen, for putting this together and doing all the heavy lifting like you always do.
No problem.
And this was a blast. And we actually talked about pedals at the end instead of just pants and stuff. So that's cool.
Cheese.
Cheese and
Cheese.
More cheese.
Lots of
and
cheese.
cheese.
Man, I love cheese. I do love cheese. Wow. I'm going to get some cheese before I go to bed. It sounds amazing.
Well, we still have pizza left over if you're talking.
Oh, yeah, I probably am
Yeah.
going to need a slice. I'm still hungry.
We actually have
We have 2 whole pies left
other
upstairs.
pies
Oh, wow.
upstairs.
I'm not that hungry. I just need like a slice.
Well, we can send you off with some if you would like.
All right, everybody. Well, for everyone, this is Blake, and as always, folks, good luck and good tones. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I had a great time. Those are wonderful people, and I enjoyed talking to them, and it was great to see them, especially during this crazy, crazy year that we're having. So yeah, I'm going to cherish that one forever. And if you would like more of the conversation, because we recorded some extra for the folks over on Patreon, you can help support the show out by going to patreon.com/tonemob, and for $5 a month, you will get extra episodes streamed to your ears every week. And we have more of this conversation with myself and all the Nashville folks. So please, if that's something that's within your ability, slide over to Patreon and check that out. If not, please share this episode with your friends, family, anybody you think might enjoy it. I really appreciate it, and I literally live off those sweet, sweet downloads. I gotta have those downloads. That's what keeps this whole thing going. It's like a self-fulfilling machine. So please, share this around, and I hope you enjoyed this extra bonus episode. I'll be back on Monday with another regular episode for you. Please, stay safe, Take care of each other, and I'll talk to you next time. One last thing before we totally sign off here, I just want to remind you that if you do any shopping at Stringjoy, that's Stringjoy guitar strings made in Nashville, that will help me out as well. As I've said for years, I'm heavily involved in that company, and I really do think they're making the best products on the market. So if you would like to try custom strings, go to tonemob.com/stringjoy and check them out today. I seriously love what the team down there is doing. I help them out with all kinds of things, and by you supporting them, you are also supporting me as well. And hey, you need some strings, so why not get some custom strings just for your guitar and playing style? Again, the link for that is tonemob.com/stringjoy, and that will take you right to their website, and you can do all your shopping through there, and that will help everyone involved out. So thank you very much. Talk to you next time. We are brought to you by the wonderful folks at Gun Street Wiring Shop. Yes, Gun Street Wiring Shop. I've talked about them before. I used to say based out of Bend, Oregon, but guess what? Sean moved to my neck of the woods. Sean's in Portland. Sean is awesome and has helped me with a bunch of stuff lately. And if you have wiring needs for your guitar, he can help you too. If you want to get weird with it, he can get weird. If you just need to spruce things up a little bit, there's your guy. He takes all the guesswork out of doing your guitar wiring, and he makes it simple, and his customer service is top-notch, and I can't say enough good things about Gun Street as a company. I really respect Sean and what he's all about, and the product is top-notch. I've got 3 different guitars that now have Gun Street harnesses in them, and I could not be happier. So go to gunstreetwiringshop.com and check them out.